So I am doing a pickle making video today. So I have my jars in my oven. You're going to stripe and slice your cucumbers. You're going to ice and salt your cucumbers and let them, so I put them in a colander, I salt them, put ice on them, and let the water that's going to come out of the cucumbers drip into a bowl. Obviously you don't want to make a mess. And I will leave them sit for about 3 hours. If you don't have 3 hours, I would say at least 2.5. Go as long as you can. You can't really go too long, but you can go not long enough, if that makes any sense. So we've done that. They have been on ice and salt for about 3 hours. I am going to get all my pots and my canners situated here on the stove. My oven is filled with clean jars, all the sizes that you're going to want, any sizes that you're going to want. Any jar you're going to use, you want in your oven ready and prepared. And then you're going to turn your oven onto a low setting. So I put mine onto like 260, 265, and I will just let them in there. Let them stay warm. Let them in the oven. They'll stay warm, and they'll be ready for you to put all of your ingredients into your jar. So I'm going to get my canner out, and I'm going to get my brine pot out. I typically use the same pot for the same things all the time. So I have like one pot that I always use for jam. I have one pot that I always use for soup. I have one pot that I always use for my pickle brine, etc. So I'll show you what my canner looks like. It is a hot water bath canner. And it has done many, many, many batches of all the things. So you can see this is very loved and rusty. But that's okay because that's my favorite one. That one works the best. And then I have another one. So I have 2 racks for my canner. This is my hot water bath canner. It's just a regular, I think I got it at Walmart a million years ago. I've used it 100,000 bajillion times. And I did buy a bigger one. I am hoping to have a bigger propane 6-burner stove hooked up shortly-ish, so I got a bigger one of these so I can do almost double the amount at the same time, so that's awesome. So we have our cucumbers here that we striped and sliced, and then we salted them, put ice on them, and let them sit for 3 hours, and then all of the liquid that would come out of the cucumbers would drain into this bowl, so that way you don't have a soggy pickle. So now they're ready. I gave them a quick rinse. I have my brine going here in this pot, my hot water bath canner in here, working away just how we like it. And then all of the jars are in the oven, hot and ready to go. Lids over here. You just want them to be hot. They don't need to be boiling. And then we are going to can some pickles. So we've got our hot jars. We have our funnel and our measuring cup, which is what I scoop the brine out with and into the jars. So you will put your funnel on your jars. I like to add just a little bit of the brine into the bottom of the jars so that way they don't crack from the cold pickles. Just like that. Just a little bit, but then you'll go back after you put the pickles in and you'll fill it the rest of the way. These are my sweet and spicy pickles, one of our household favorites and a lot of other people's favorites too. And then I just hang this on the side of my pot and leave that there. And then I will take the funnel and we will just drop the cucumbers in the jar, and you want to pack your jar full, very full, because once they're canned, the liquid will go to the bottom and the cucumbers will rise. There's nothing worse than having like a 3-inch space in the bottom of your jar because it's half empty. I'm going to pack as many in there as you can. Push them down. Remember, the jars are hot, so you don't want to actually touch the jar. And then fill the rest of the way slowly with liquid. And then you can get a butter knife or something very slender and push down in the sides. So that way any air bubbles come out. I usually just take this and kind of push it down a couple times. And then you do that with all your jars. You'll get a clean kitchen towel. Just get a little part of it wet and then wipe the rims of your jar so there's nothing sticky and no ingredients left. Because if there is, it may not seal on you. And I have this lid magnet. Take one of your lids, put it there, add your rings, done. Okay, so now we have all of our jars filled, all of our rims were wiped, all of our lids were put on, and all of our rings were put on. So now we are going to put it in the rack. I can fit 7 quarts on this rack. I have some pints in here, and I have some 1.5-pint jars, so I can kind of fit a little bit more than that this go around. At least that's the plan. So then what we're going to do is take the lid off of our hot boiling hot water bath canner and just hold these slowly, lower them into the water because sometimes they can crack if the temperature amount is too much of a difference. So this is hot boiling water, and if the jars cool down too much, sometimes they will crack when you put them in the hot water. So you can even rest them on the edge of the pot with your rack rest for like just a couple seconds to get them used to the hot, and then slowly lower them in to your pot. And you're going to put your lid on, and you're going to hot water bath them between 10 and 15 minutes depending on your jar size. So pints for pickles, you're going to hot water bath for 10 minutes. For quarts, for pickles, you're going to hot water bath for 15 minutes. And then when your timer is up, you take them out and you let them rest on, you can let them rest on like a cookie sheet or a cutting board, whatever you prefer.